Is it working all right for you guys? Good. Okay, we're going to go ahead. Obviously, you know this whole crew, and we appreciate our mayors being here, and of course it's West Fargo, so you got the whole North Dakota side and Moorhead as well, and we appreciate Shelley so much and the incredible working relationship between North Dakota and Minnesota on this project. And of course Michelle Fischbach is with us. Congresswoman, thank you again, reflecting that cooperation on a multi-state project. And but the main point for today is that we have the head of the Corps of Engineers here, General Spellman, and we worked with him for years, and fortunately he's a get-it-done kind of guy, and that's why he's here, is to see the whole project. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. We also have Colonel Jansen, and he's been promised, he's a colonel, but he's been promised a full star if he gets this thing done really fast. And, you know, we don't know about 4 stars. After the first star, he's on his own. But in all seriousness, the St. Paul crew has been incredibly committed to this project, and we deeply appreciate it. So I'm going to kind of start things off, and then I'm going to check with the mayors, and then we're going to get General Spellman up here. I know you want to hear from him. But he's here because he wants eyes on this project. He wants eyes on this project because we're putting money into the Corps' work plan. We're appropriating money into the Corps' work plan, not only through our regular appropriations process, but you saw we also are working on infrastructure legislation as well, which creates opportunities for funding. But it's very important once we provide that funding to the Corps that they provide it for this project through their work plan, so that we can continue to make sure that we do all the work that we're able to do on an annual basis, which this year is about $200 million, and we're looking at that for next year. From the federal end, we're already over $300 million, and so you can see at the rate we're going, we would get to that $750 million federal contribution here in a pretty expedited time frame. And of course, we want to do that because last I checked with the mayors, and they are in charge, as you know, they're telling me they want this thing done in 2026. And we do too, because that saves our people money out here. That means they don't have to be buying flood insurance, right? So that saves them every year that they don't have to buy flood insurance, but also this expedited project helps reduce the cost to them in terms of their share through the property tax portion and so on and so forth. Because remember, this is a unique project. This is a unique project in the United States in 2 different ways. This is 2 firsts for the United States. It's the first time that the Corps is doing a P3, where it's a public-private partnership. It's also the first time they're doing a project, a WIFIA loan. Both of those expedite this project and reduce the ultimate cost to the taxpayer. And I mean not only the taxpayers here in North Dakota and Minnesota, I mean at the state level, and I mean at the federal level, which is why this really is a model for the Corps in the future in terms of helping them cut into their backlog of projects around the country, building more projects at lower cost. That's why that P3 is so important. And then, of course, the WIFIA loan is key because, in essence, that provides a guarantee. And think how important that is right now, locking in that cost of money at a very low rate when interest rates are very low right now. And think of the cost difference if you're trying to borrow that money later and rates go up on you. So that's why, again, 2 firsts of the country, and all these things are designed to get the project done faster and at lower cost. And remember, once we build it, it's not just that you now protect lives and property in a very dynamic area of the country. This whole Fargo-Moorhead region is one of the most dynamic small metros in the country, but you make sure that our citizens don't have to buy that flood insurance year in and year out for many years, and of course that's expensive. So I'm going to stop right there. I'm now going to turn to the mayors, and I'm going to start with Mayor Mahoney because of the age before beauty thing. Otherwise I would. And so I'm just going to let the mayors weigh in here for a minute, and then we're going to ask for some comments from General Spellman. And I will tell you this, I've worked with General Spellman for a lot of years, and he's just a fabulous guy. He is about getting things done. He gets it. And the only other thing, he's feeling good, but he's also feeling a little pressure. And so You can see he looks a little nervous. And it's not, I mean, it's a little more than he expected, because I guess there's a little bit of a bet or a little bit of rivalry between the private sector side, the diversion side, and then the control structures and the core side as to who is going to finish their part of this project first. And it's kind of a big deal, because it's not just like a bet to have a bet. There's like a steak dinner bet between the two teams as to who, and the loser has to buy the winner's steak as to, so got a heck of a horse race going, and you never say whoa in a horse race. All kidding aside, I'm serious. Spellman is here to see this thing so that when he goes back to DC to advocate to make sure that the funding is allocated to it out of the Corps' work plan, that he can say he's been here, he's had eyes on, he can talk about all the unique aspects and benefits of this project and why it is important to the Corps that they show they can do this so they can do it in other parts of the country. So thanks to General Spellman for being here. Mayor Mahoney.
Boy, everything falls just when I come up. Okay. Well, Senator Hoban, thank you very much for your kind remarks. As always, you've been a great supporter of this project, and you continue to amaze us. Representative Fischbach, very much thank you for coming here today as well. This is the first project that she's gone through and looked at and seen all the progress that we've been making. We want to thank our core partners, Senator Spellman coming in today and looking at the progress we've made, and then us trying to look at our schedule and what we're doing. And this is the #1 core project in the nation in the fact that we're on time and we're on budget. That's something he gives bragging rights about Fargo-Moorhead, that he can go to the nation and say, here's a project that we're doing it the right way. The other thing the press needs to know, this is the first time we have combined a P3, a WIFIA loan, any other variety of innovative type ways of doing things. And the senator is very right. Joel Paulson, our director, was just in a magazine in which they said, this is really unique. Nobody's ever tried to do this. And the cost savings are just tremendous. So my challenge to the general is, hey, let's look at our work plan, see if we can keep on track, on time, and try to get this done before 26. That helps us in our communities, and it helps our communities grow well. So he knows that challenge, and he'll have to think about it a little bit. I have Mayor Carlson's going to speak now. She's the chairperson of the DA Authority, and give us her words of wisdom.
Thank you all. Thank you so much, General Spellman and Colonel Jansen and other members of the Diversion Authority Board who is here, and also the members of the Army Corps of Engineers. I'm echoing what the Senator and the Mayor said, that this is just an incredible project. But I also don't want to lose sight of the fact that, you know, we're going to save money and we're going to get this done, but it's going to be that permanent, reliable flood protection that is going to be very vital and important for all of the members of Cass and Clay counties and Fargo. I remember when my son was on his birthday, March 26th in 2009, and we were sandbagging, and we took a 15-minute break to wish him happy birthday. He got to blow out his candles, and we had to get right back to sandbagging. And I don't want to minimize, you know, the people who lost their homes. I mean, it's not that big of a deal to celebrate a birthday a day or two later. But these are lives that were affected by these floods, and this is to prevent that in the future. And I'm just incredibly proud to be part of this project, and just want to thank everybody who's been involved and who had the foresight to put together a joint powers agreement to create the Diversion Authority so that we can move forward to have this and Fargo, Moorhead, and Cass and Clay counties. Thank you.
Bernie.
I thought everything fell apart when Mahoney went up here, not me. But. General, great to have you here.
Thanks, sir.
Representative Fischbach and obviously Senator Hoban. Today we're giving a lot of thanks to various people. I'd also like to extend a big thank you to Cass County and Chairman Chad Peterson for the role that the county is playing in this important role. I'd also like to thank three very, very, very important people as we transcended into where we're at today, the technical team. Bob, raise your hand. Nathan, Jason, that's part of that technical team. And when we were negotiating with Governor Dayton and the like, these guys were absolutely critical in getting where we're at. The other thing that we deal with is the legal side of things. And Mr. John Shockley, the legal representative for the Diversion Authority, has been phenomenal in assisting us in working out the financing. So to everyone that's here today, I want to emphasize that this has been an absolute team effort from Cass County, Clay County, Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo, and beyond. Certainly the Corps of Engineers. General, I'm sure that you have a great different number of units across America that you work with. There is nobody better than the Minneapolis and the St. Paul groups. Absolutely phenomenal to work with. We're blessed to have Terry working for us too. So on behalf of a very grateful community, we're glad that you're all here. And to these very special people that have got us here today, thank you.
So I should have had Congresswoman Fishbach up here sooner. Congresswoman, we love having you in North Dakota. Yep. Come anytime, come off, and we want you here working with us. So thanks so much for being here, and you go ahead. I'm even going to hold the mic for a minute for you till you get on there.
Well, thank you so much. And I am just so excited to be here today because this project is incredible when you take a look at it. But what it's really about is people coming together with this vision. I remember when I was in the Minnesota Senate and those floods were happening and it was tragic, the devastation that we saw. And it is now we had those people come together and come up with a plan and put the financing together and bring the people together to make this a reality. And so that no little guys have to miss their 10th birthday because they're sandbagging, because that is going to be a thing of the past. And I'm just excited to be here today to see what is going on. And I'm looking forward to coming back in a year and seeing even further production and advance on this project. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yep.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. Thanks for being here. General Spellman, and again, at the end of the day, this is about protecting lives and protecting property. Vitally important. Protecting lives and protecting property. That's what this is about. General Spellman, thanks for being here.
Sir, thank you. Senator Hoven, thanks again, sir. This is my third visit to this project, and it's great to be back out with you again. I got to tell you, it's a joy to come to a project that's on schedule, within budget, and is being constructed safely. We call that winning today in the Army Corps of Engineers. Just a few thank yous. First of all, for Senator Hoven and Congresswoman Fishbach, none of these projects happen without strong leadership in Washington, D.C. And we're getting that in abundance. And sir, I don't know what time you got in this morning. I know you've had a few busy weeks, and that's an understatement. But we certainly appreciate all of your leadership and the resourcing for this project. I also want to say thank you to all the folks wearing hard hats out there, all our tradesmen. Your safety record is impeccable out here, and we certainly want to keep that rolling. So for all the folks that are erecting the steel and pouring the concrete and moving the dirt, thanks for all that you're doing to keep us on schedule, as I said, within budget and doing it safely. And you're correct, our St. Paul district, they are all heroes. It's one of the best of our 44 districts in the Army Corps of Engineers, and Colonel Jansen and his team are absolutely delivering for us. And finally, I would just say thank you to our partners in the Diversion Authority. You know, we want to be open, we want to be transparent with all of our partners, and we certainly want to work to get obstacles out of the way, whether the obstacles within the district or back in Washington, D.C. That's what we're all about. I would just end with this. The project behind me and all around us here, this is one of 963 ongoing projects we have in the Corps of Engineers today, 963. That's a huge investment of the nation to finish all of that work. But as Senator Hoven said, these projects speak for themselves. They make money for the nation. They are all about protecting human life, American lives here in this region. And we're going to take our strongest technical arguments back to Washington, D.C. as we argue for the next level of investment for fiscal year 22 to keep this project rolling. So I want to thank everyone for being here today and certainly look forward to any questions that you may have. Carl, I'm going to ask you to come on up here and say anything specific about the project.
Well, good morning, Senator Hoven, Congresswoman Fischbach, and local leaders. Thanks for the opportunity to showcase some of the greatest construction we have ongoing in the St. Paul District and across the Army Corps of Engineers. Our job is simple: finish a quality project on time, within budget, and do it safely. I represent 750 people with hard hats and safety vests on, who are dedicated to our fellow citizens here in the Fargo metro area, and we'll continue to build strong for the next 6 years and deliver this project for the community here. Thank you.
So, Chad, come on up. You got the best ZZ Top beard in the flippin' nation, and then Jason, you too. Anything you. By the way, there's a drone up there.
It was here.
I love that, because North Dakota, we're all things drone, just a little bit north of here, drone center of the world. But I just got a kick out of it. He's probably checking out your beard.
Yeah, Senator, thank you. Thank you to the Army Corps. Thank you to our team members. As our chair and Mayor Carlson said, thank you to those that have sacrificed. It's always easy to forget about the most difficult part of the conversation. The 1,000 homeowners, the countless acres of land that have been committed to not only the diversion ditch itself, the retention structures, but that land that's going to be dedicated into perpetuity that's going to be allowed for storage. Thank you to those farmers. Thank you to the people in the rural areas that are the ones that are actually the most committed to this in terms of firsthand experience. So I think we've had enough gratitude. I think we had enough thank yous, but thank you to the team. Thank you to everyone out here. Thank you to the folks that are covering this. Thank you to the people in the press. Thank you to the public at large. Thank you to the taxpayers and everyone else participating. Again, gratitude to everyone. Thanks.
When you step on there, grab those mics.
Got it.
Just rocking.
Well, thank you, Senator. Thank you, General Spellman, for being here. This is a great opportunity for us as the non-federal sponsor at the Diversion Authority to really sync with the top leadership at the Corps of Engineers and show them around and see all of the great work that's happening. Talk a little bit about the steak dinner bet. They got a head start on us with all this wonderful construction you can see behind us. But we did procure a P3 developer that will be moving into this area this fall and starting construction on the diversion channel early next year. And I think the community is really going to see a lot of nice work happening there and progress happening. We'll get that channel built in the next 5 to 6 years, and hopefully we'll be coming in right just ahead of the Corps of Engineers, and we'll have permanent, reliable flood protection ready in 2027. That's all I have to say, but thank you, General, for being here. It's a pleasure to have you.
Okay, we're going to do a little touring, so media can take some pictures and stuff. Who's our tour guide going to narrate? Yeah, come on up and tell them the drill. Is there any question you want for the group? Because you can grab these guys individual too. So, but if you have a question, okay. Tell me your name. Steve what? Steve Roush. You must be the site safety manager, Steve Roush. So he's just going to take some little tour here. Probably has a couple do's and don'ts, and then we'll let you take some pictures of this development. So Steve, take her away. Thank you. Yep. What is rocks there?
Oh, thank you. All right, thank you. Thank you all for coming. I'm site safety manager at the Ames Construction. I want to keep you all safe while you're here on your tour. Just a few reminders. We have a few boundaries. We'd like you to please not go to the east side of the structure where they're doing the dirt work. If you need to take a few photos, go as far as the black pipe here. And then if you'd like to get closer to down into the structure, you're welcome to come across this bridge. Watch your footing as you go by the crane mats, and watch your footing in general. As you go down the steps, we can go out into the middle of the structure. Don't go past the cones if you would, please. And you get some photos from there. If you'd like to break off and go around the west side and the south side, we'll have Jerry here will be a safety escort for you. Please stay with your group if you decide to do that. Remember that we do have active construction going on. If we have excavators rotating, we have forklifts, we have equipment operating out of here, so watch your pinch points and please stay back plenty clear of all of the equipment. Cell phone use. I know we all have our cell phones, but there's a lot of irregular surfaces here, a lot of potential trip and fall hazards, so please watch your phone use so you don't have that type of accident. The wind, of course, is a factor. We've tried to make sure everything's buttoned down so there's nothing blowing in the air, but the wind can put things up in the air, so be aware of any materials that might be in the area. Watch your doors.
And also tell them how this fits
Sorry?
Tell them how this structure fits into the whole thing.
No, I'm not a good guy for that, but I can.
You aren't?
No, sir.
We can do that,
Yeah.
sir. Okay,
All right.
just do that before.
So I'm almost finished. Yeah. All right. So the last thing I just want to remind you all is with this wind, as you're getting out of your vehicles, we have accidents sometimes with our doors closing on us. So watch the wind. And when you go to leave, we have quite a few vehicles pulled in. If you can pull forward and swing around, we're trying to avoid backing accidents. So if you can pull forward and swing around as you exit, that'd be great. If you need to back up, please just be very aware that there's not someone that has gotten behind you that could cause an accident. All right? If you have any questions about safety, if you're a photographer or otherwise, feel free to see me. I'm going to take the group down into the middle, and we'll have an opportunity to take some pictures down there. Thank you all for coming.
Just tell them how it fits.
Hey, real quick, I'll just explain what you're seeing behind me and how it fits into the larger project. So this is the Wild Rice River control structure. It's one of 3 gated control structures associated with the project. The 3 gated control structures are tied into a 20-mile long embankment. When you kind of see the ridge behind you, that's an example of what that embankment will look like. The purpose of that embankment is to collect floodwaters and stage those so that they can be passed downstream in a controlled fashion. Some flows will continue through the Red River control structure, which is to our east, and pass through the Fargo metro area, where they're able to pass additional flows based on major investments in that area with levees and flood walls. And then to the west of us is the diversion inlet structure, and the purpose of that is to pass the flows that collect here through a 30-mile long diversion channel around the metro area and back into the Red River. So they all function together as a integrated system, and along with that come a lot of associated features, including interstate rays, aqueducts, highway bridges, everything that needs to come together to keep the community moving, but also have a functioning project at the same time.
Work. Thanks, Colonel. Okay. All right. Let's go. How are you doing? Hey.